When people think about World War II, they usually think about Germany's army, America's power, or the Soviet Union's size. But there's one country that quietly held the war together, the United Kingdom. Not because it was the strongest, not because it had the biggest army, but because of where it was and what it refused to become. Britain was an island, surrounded by water, close enough to Europe to matter, but far enough to be difficult to invade. That geography changed everything. For Germany to win the war, Britain had to fall. As long as Britain existed, Hitler could never fully control Europe. Britain became a locked door Germany couldn't break. In 1940, France collapsed. Most of Europe fell in weeks. The United States was not in the war yet. The Soviet Union had not been invaded. Britain stood alone, no backup, no guarantees, no second chances. Germany prepared to invade, but invasion required control of the sky. That led to the Battle of Britain. British pilots were outnumbered and exhausted. Many were barely trained. Some flew multiple missions every day, but Britain had something Germany didn't expect: radar, early warning systems, and the advantage of defending home. They didn't need to destroy Germany's air force. They only needed to survive. And they did. That failure forced Hitler to make a fatal decision. He turned east toward the Soviet Union. From that moment, the war changed. Britain became the brain of the Allied war. Spies moved quietly. Messages were intercepted at Bletchley Park. British codebreakers cracked the German Enigma code. That meant Britain often knew where German ships were, where submarines hunted, and when attacks were coming. Wars aren't only won by soldiers. They're won by information. Britain also controlled the Atlantic lifeline. Food, fuel, weapons. If those routes were cut, Britain would starve. German submarines tried to strangle the island. For years, survival depended on ships crossing dark oceans. Convoys were formed. New technology was developed. Slowly, the tide turned. As long as Britain stayed supplied, the Allies stayed alive. Britain also became the bridge to America. Without Britain, the United States had nowhere to launch an invasion of Europe. American troops trained on British soil. Planes took off from British airfields. Supplies moved through British ports. And in 1944, the largest invasion in human history began. That invasion was only possible because Britain still stood. If Britain had fallen in 1940, there would be no Normandy landings, no Second Front, no liberation of Western Europe. But this war wasn't only about maps and strategy. It was about people. London was bombed night after night. Homes were destroyed. Families slept in subway stations. And still, people went to work the next morning. Not because they were fearless, but because they refused to give up. Britain didn't win the war alone. But without Britain, the war could not have been won. Germany had the army. America had the industry. The Soviet Union had the numbers. But Britain had the position in history where you stand can matter more than how strong you are.